Hey guys, I just finished my Zoom. I've been up a long time. I wanted to get this Intel summary done. My lash fell off in the middle of my Zoom or at the end of my Zoom. And guys, there's a link underneath the membership Zoom video in the comments that is the link to an interview with the new Fed chair. If you want to be comfortable about the new Fed chair that Trump nominated, I mean, I don't know, he has to go through a process, but it's supposed to be May of 2026. Go watch that. I think it'll give you a lot of peace. It was a 23-minute video. I shared 13 minutes of it on my Zoom. Everybody loved it, and I put the link there. I also put it in the thing for the Zoom. But here we go. I covered... guys, they're in the middle of a snowstorm over there. Continue to pray for them. Continue to pray for my husband. I have been attacked. Like, I want to stay healthy. So Rubio, he said, you can get the details on my live stream. I think I started the Intel at 46 minutes, got into the articles at 64 minutes because I shared the big picture. I share the big picture, then go into the details on my channel. So please subscribe, tap the bell. Rubio, all our forces in the Middle East are within range of Iranian missiles and drones. You need to, we're just praying that peace will be done in the Middle East. The next article was weekly crude prices edge 5% higher amid geopolitical risk, U.S. supply disruptions. I always share the big picture of what's going on geopolitically. The next article, Blue Origin suspends space tourism flights. That's Jeff Bezos's company. You know, I have no idea what's going on there. Maybe he's, going to be prosecuted. I don't know. What do you think? I think some of the wicked people should. I don't know whether he is or not. I don't know. What do you think? Comment down below. UN Iraqi partnership for post-census phase. That was 3 days ago. Also, I did an article on the CBI launches full implementation of comprehensive banking system reform project. That was October of 2025. I wanted to talk about it because they just said they launched it. And then on my Zoom, I went through all the articles I've been talking about. They're already done. So it's kind of hypocritical a little bit because why? It's messy, right? God told me a long time ago, don't worry about the banks. It's going to be messy. Take the money and run. It's not cash you're going to run with, although you should have some cash in your safe somewhere in your house for whatever happens if we go through days of darkness or whatever, or I don't know. I'm just, this is a battle between good and evil. Anything can happen. So keep praying. The other thing I think I talked about, another article. Nope, that's it. So now I'll go to the summary of everybody else. This is going to be one of my fastest summaries because honestly, I'm tired today. You would be too if you were up at 4 and having to do everything because your husband's not feeling well. I also don't want to get it, so I need to take a nap today. And I got anyways, whatever. It's not about me. Newshound Guru Jeff, let's get into the Kuwait syndrome aspect of this. Can they tell you before the rate changes that they're going to flat out pull the OACT sanctions? Those are the last final remaining sanctions on Iraq. Hell no, they're not going to do that. Hear what they're going to do. They're reviewing Iraq right now to make sure they're worthy of lifting the last final remaining UN Treasury sanctions, OFAC UN Treasury sanctions, so they can increase the currency value and go international. But what they're portraying in the news is instability and insecurity. But what they're portraying they can't give you clues that the rate is about to go up in value. This is the Kuwait syndrome. When you follow the facts, though, the means of their actions, you can gauge this and how much better it is accurately. And that's what I've been doing for a few years now. Sandy Ingram, $100 billion, Iraq's funds held at the U.S. Federal Reserve. This is what it's all about. That's why I shared the new chairman's talk he gave to C-SPAN 6 months before he was nominated. It was from 2025. He talks about what role he thinks the Fed should play. You should watch it. So anyways, they don't want Maliki to get his hands on that $100 billion. They already have the agentic AI, I believe, in the banking system. I think they can prevent that, but who knows what happens, right? $100 billion that's held in the Federal Reserve. Trump has denounced support of Maliki if elected prime minister again. There are people in Iraq trying to prevent this. The news in the Middle East is saying Trump is losing control and Iraq is going to do what they want to do. And Iraq is in charge and Iraq in this and Iraq is in that. I know that's not true. They postponed the session to elect the president for the second time. No president, no PM. Guys, if you're following me, I have a certified letter from Forex stating that the CBI already translated the rate. Everybody has it, and it's coordinated political timing. Since Iraq is the number 2 OPEC producer, exporter of oil to the U.S., the number 2, right? I think we're good, right? And Trump said he wanted to be paid before he removed the military. The military are out of Iraq. They are helping out with Syria and Iran right now. So pray for our military contacts. That's where they are. Mountain Goat, as investors in the Iraqi dinar, we keep remembering those words of stability and security that Dr. Shabibi told us must occur. They're already there prior to any reinstatement. So if Iraq must have a stable government and the country of Iraq must be secure and foreign interventions and conflict, do you really think this is a now and ready to move to Forex? That's Mountain Goat. Mark Z, Trump threatens to end Iraq support over al-Maliki coming back, bid tied to Iranian influence. This even made Fox News. Iraq is under pressure. A lot is at stake. We keep praying, right? Militiaman, reforms are a coordinated effort. They're executing what they're doing. What they're doing is a deliberate approach, but what they're doing it quietly. They're giving confidence to the gatekeepers, the World Trade Organization, the WCO, the Bank of International Settlements, the World Bank, and all these different people. They've already signed off on their banking system saying it's the best in the world. Claire, article, Ministry of Planning, the World Bank is proceeding with opening a dedicated office in Baghdad, which confirms the bank's support for the government, given that Iraq has taken excellent steps and that they are ready to provide greater support in the field, joint cooperation with Iraq. What do you think about that? Isn't this a great summary? I love this summary. Comment down below if you love this summary. Walking stick, a key. Your Trump is going to rebuild our country, and he's going to start with the northern part of Iraq. In return, he wants to remove the CBI governor. It's not a bad thing to get rid of Maliki or Alak. I don't know. Not if Alak. I liked Alak. I was following what he was doing. Samson, article, Ministry of Planning. The World Bank is proceeding with opening a dedicated office in Baghdad. Everybody's running with that. Frank 26, the United States of America right now are in the process of removing Maliki and Alak because they are loyal to Iran, and that's too dangerous for the monetary reform. They shouldn't have been playing all these games. The evidence we have against them is bad. There's a chance for Sudani, but there is no chance for Alak and Maliki. I just have a feeling because of these transparent systems, they already know who the players are, and they're not going to let us know. It's just going to happen overnight. Militiaman, the government has been talking about local and regional developmental activation of the private sector, establishing commercial, industrial, agriculture, and tourism clusters. Each and every single one of those is going to be a revenue stream for the private sector. That's what it's all about. It's about having a real effective exchange rate. They're going to support it through the private sector. That's what we've been waiting for. We're almost there. They've been implementing all of this strategy for so long. It looks like they've refined it in detail. I believe the execution phase is underway. Mark Z said on the bond side, still very quiet, but over the last few days, we had one tell us that they expect very big things in the Middle East this weekend. Perhaps that fits with some of the news out of Iraq. I think Bruce said the real thing we're looking for is to have Iraq finish what they're supposed to be doing, which is seating Prime Minister Sudani as prime minister by their parliament and getting the influence of Maliki out of the picture and Iranian influence in the banks removed. That's what has to happen, and this is what we pushed for another week from this week. Yay. Blondie, who's she? Reuters article, breaking, U.S. Special Envoy to Iraq, no longer in the post. Quote, one of the sources pointed to Safaya's mishandling of key situations, including his failure to prevent nomination of former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki to be the country's next premier, a move Trump openly warned Baghdad against. U.S. Ambassador to Turkey, Tom Barak, who traveled to Ulu this week, is believed to be taking over the portfolio. Well, that's news to me. What do you think? That is news, guys. So this is what I do. I just give you the breaking news out of Iraq, what everybody's saying. You decide. Do your own research. This is informational purposes only. This is entertainment purposes only. Guys, I don't sell currency. So guys, I love you all. I'll see you later. I'm going to post the shorts as soon as I can. I'm going to get this posted as soon as I can. Please let me know if you like this 8-minute, 46-second summary. Bye.